It was late spring, the air crisp with the scent of pine and the lake sparkling under the morning sun. My lake cabin, a modest wooden retreat built by my grandfather decades ago, had always been my sanctuary, a place to fish, read, and escape the noise of the world. But apparently, it had also become Karen's new obsession. The HOA had sent letters, first polite, then increasingly aggressive, claiming my cabin was non-compliant with community standards. According to them, I needed permits, inspections, and, most absurdly, a vote from the HOA board to keep my cabin where it stood. I laughed reading each one. Grandpa, ever calm, leaned back in his chair on the porch and said, "Son, they don't know what they're messing with. Let them come and see who really owns the lake." The following weekend, Karen and two of her HOA minions showed up, clipboards in hand, ready to enforce their imaginary authority. "You're in violation," Karen declared, puffing out her chest. "We're here to ensure compliance and—" "Compliance with what?" I asked, stepping out onto the dock. The morning sun glinted off my fishing pole, a simple reminder that this was my land. Karen waved her clipboard. "HOA regulations. You're occupying property without permission and—" Before she could finish, I held up a large, framed document. The original land deed, showing not just the cabin, but the entire lake lot under my name. My name, bold letters, signed, sealed, and notarized decades before Karen's HOA even existed. The expression on her face was priceless. Her jaw dropped, her eyes widening as the realization dawned. That can't be right." "Oh, it's very right," I said calmly, handing a copy to one of her minions. "This lake, the cabin, the entire lot, it's mine. And yes, that includes the water rights and shoreline." Her minions began flipping through the pages, trying to find a loophole, but there wasn't one. Every boundary, every plot, every easement clearly demonstrated my ownership. Karen's authority was non-existent. She turned to me, flustered. "You can't just—" "We sent notices. And I read them," I said. "And I also read the law. HOA rules only apply to homeowners within their jurisdiction. This lake cabin? Outside your control. And now, everyone here knows it." By now, neighbors had started to gather along the lakeshore, some fishing, some simply observing. Rumors of Karen's confrontation had spread through the subdivision, and curiosity brought a crowd. They watched as she sputtered, unable to argue against documented legal authority. Grandpa chuckled from the porch. "Son, I told you, paper beats tantrum every time." Karen's face turned red as she tried a final tactic, calling local law enforcement. "We need a sheriff," she screamed. "This person is trespassing on community property." I laughed. "Try telling the sheriff that. My deed, my property, my lake." 5 minutes later, Deputy Martinez, yes, the same cousin whose patrol car Karen had attempted to tow, arrived. He glanced at the crowd, at the document, and then at Karen. "Ma'am, unless you have a warrant, you have no authority here. Everything he's saying checks out. I suggest you leave before this becomes trespassing on your part." Karen's face twisted in rage and disbelief. She stormed off, muttering about lawsuits and HOA board meetings, while the crowd murmured approvingly about my victory. Some neighbors even congratulated me on showing what real property ownership looks like. Proof over tantrums every time. I spent the rest of the day repairing a small dock ladder, sipping lemonade, and watching the sunlight glitter off the water. Grandpa joined me, chuckling as he recounted past battles with HOA overreach. "Son," he said, "sometimes people need a lesson in history and property law. Today, Karen got hers. The cabin was safe, the lake untouched, and word quickly spread throughout the subdivision. The lake belonged to me." Every attempt by the HOA to assert authority was now met with laughter and disbelief. Karen would no longer harass me, because she knew any further attempts would only remind everyone exactly who owned the lake, and the entire lot surrounding it. By evening, the water reflected the golden sunset perfectly, the cabin peaceful as ever, and the lesson clear. When someone tries to overstep boundaries, nothing beats documented proof, patience, and a little public accountability. Karen's reign of overreach was over, and the lake was mine to enjoy, uninterrupted, for generations to come.